Okay, this is going to be the second video in the series, and I've had to move some things around. I didn't realize that Studio One did a thing in a certain way, and it's not the way I remember it being from the first version of the program. So I kind of have had to make some changes. So this is a step. This is the step where you're going to gain stage, and we're going to put this step before the editing step and before the stripping silences step, because when I go to arrange the reduce the gain of the different regions, now that I've chopped them into pieces, the problem is I can only reduce the gain for each individual region, not the entire track. So if you do this before you edit and strip silences, then you can go through and do this for the entire region that's all across the track, your entire stem. And then when you go to cut the thing up, then you don't have to do it multiple times. I'm not going to have to do it multiple times either. I'm just going to have to select everything in the track. So here we go. The idea behind this process is that the sound of everything in there at its fullest volume is going to be way too loud and way too cluttered, or the levels are just going to be weird. So if I even just jump into here where we're in the chorus, the vocals are really hot. You can even see how quiet the drums are compared to the vocals. The guitars, the piano and bass rather. The acoustic guitar, they're all kind of weird levels. Well, this will help balance that out, and it will give you headroom to make things louder. Once you get everything soft, then you can start bringing stuff back up. As a matter of fact, some mixing engineers will even bring the faders all the way down and just gradually bring stuff in. So rather than doing that, I like to get a good 12 decibels on every channel. So negative 12 decibels as the peak for every channel, so that I've got a good starting place and I can make things louder without everything clipping right away. So if I start right here,
I've seen your face. I've seen your face.
yeah, the vocals are really hot. The drum parts are almost non-existent and everything else. So this will just help your mix. It'll be a whole lot easier to just hear what's going on in all the different tracks if you do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the loudest part of the song, which looks like it's probably right here where everybody's singing, where everything's in at once. And I'm going to create a loop. If I drag across this and make my loop, then turn it on by clicking on the thing on the transport bar here, then I can hit play.
I see my face. I know it's true.
If I open up the mixer,
I see my face. I know it's you. I see my face.
you'll see how the peak here on the lead vocal was somewhere around 2 decibels,
See
right?
my face.
Yeah, usually on the S's it
I
seems
know it's you.
the S's need to be tamed.
I hear my name. I hear my name. It's what they say. Laughing Phillips.
Also, we have some clipping going on right here. So that means that we went above 0 in the sum of all the tracks together at least 3 times higher than the first instance. So we had it was way up about here, maybe at a -2 or so. So the way to get this track down is that you select it. Now remember, I'm going to have to select the other region. So I'm going to shift click this, shift click that as well. All right, now one way you can do this is by going up here, if you look at audio and decrease volume, which this little symbol right there is option. That's what this little thing is. So if you hold down the option key and press minus, it'll make it quieter. If you need to make something louder, it's option plus. Since we're going to be using laptop keyboards, that means option shift and the plus equals key. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So if I wanted to make this vocal track quieter, I can just click on that, or it might be easiest if I just hit the button. So if I have that all selected and I hit option negative, now I've significantly decreased the volume of the track. So if I hit play, let's find out where that vocal track is now.
I see my face. I know it's true. I see my face.
It's still getting up to maybe like -10,
I
maybe
know
like
it's you.
-8 even. So I'm going to hit that again.
I see my face. I know it's true. I see my face. I know it's you. I see my face.
That's pretty good now. So now I need to do that for the rest of the tracks. I'm going to show you one more time, but then I'm not going to do it. I'll do all the rest of it off camera. But there's another way to do this in PreSonus. If you've got your region selected, you'll notice somewhere in the middle of that region, I'll select all of these here. That one, there's one more. No, maybe that's it. Okay. You see that little square in the middle? Does the same thing. So if I take this right here and bring it down, I can even bring it down a certain amount. And it did it for all the tracks too. So all the regions that I have selected. So if I start here,
I see my face. I know it's true. I see my face. I know it's you. I see my face. I know it's what they say. Laughing Phillips.
so that's pretty good. So that's the two ways you can do it. You can either select all the regions, which, like I said, if you do this before you edit and strip silences, you won't have to select all of them. Don't forget, or you'll have one that's louder than everything else. And then you can hit Option plus or minus, or you can grab that little box there, and that gives you a little bit more control, I think. So go ahead and gain stage your tracks so that they're all below 12 decibels, and it will really help give you some space to mix, leave some headroom so that you can make things louder. All right, there you go.